What perps? Kid Kopich back here in the bunker, Purple State Party. Weekend review, starting on a Saturday this time because it's just gotten too full. Too full, too much to review. But I want to start with a segment I call Things Actual Liberals Have Said to Me. My favorite this week was a Bernie Sanders supporter talking about how churches, in back east to south, they're congregating, and people are saying you shouldn't congregate, but they're congregating because that's what they believe in, More power to them. But this liberal says, I hope they all get the disease and die. It's like, wow, so progressive. So very, very progressive of you. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with out there. They purport to be one thing, but then they hate. Yeah, they want to pick and choose who we hate and we don't hate. That's just insane. Here in the Purple State Party, I can't think of any group of people that I hate. There is one, but it's not even worth mentioning. It's stupid stuff. Like ball teams and stuff like that. Yeah. But anyhow, so got that out of the way. And then other things that, liberals have said, well, not necessarily to me, but they've said, we gotta go visit batshit crazy Cortez, or whatever the heck her name is. I don't even bother. That AOC girl. She's out there waving her wings around like a one-armed bat chasing a drunk moth, talking about, we need to give checks to illegal aliens. Because at the end of the day, she doesn't even believe that shit. She's just trying to get her name out there. She wants some fame and fortune off of saying really, really stupid things. And it'll be a paycheck down the line. You just watch. Mark my words. It's going to happen. She's going to get the book deals. More than likely, she'll end up with a talk show. That's the way that we're allowing the world to turn nowadays, Somebody who doesn't deserve it gets it, They get the fame, they get the fortune, they get the money. Because the rest of us just aren't like that freaking insipid to want to make our money by being that way. That's coming from this, whatever, man. She's freaking crazy, man. Look at this. Right here in this tweet over here, somewhere on the screen, wherever I decide to put it, she's railing again, like, oh, well, this only includes citizens. And as you notice right below it, there's another Democrat who's saying, hey, thanks to the Democrats, this relief bill focused on, the American people, not American corporations. And then, one tweet later, and there she is bad-mouthing portions of it because it doesn't include groups that, for whatever reason, aren't, included in the package. This is for citizens. They want to give illegal aliens health insurance, driver's license. Don't even get me started on that one. They want to give them sanctuary. They want to give them votes. If you come into this country illegally and there's no consequence, then why doesn't everybody just do that? What about all the people who come in the right way? Again, line jumping. If you're at Disneyland, somebody jumps the line in front of you, what are you going to do? And here they're just saying, whatever, line jump. And we should give them a check, too. That's just effing brilliant. Like, no checks for the American corporations that employ people and produce the products that we need, but checks for people who have entered the country illegally. That's just baffling. And in other baffling news, crazy Joe Biden is now supposedly being accused of some sort of sexual assault. It's like the Democrats are putting on display the very behavior that a lot of people didn't want to see before. And I think they have their heads in their heads in the sand, whatever that is. Ostriches do it, supposedly. But we're getting to see who they really are here. And I'm down the middle. Let me make that very clear. I'm down the middle. I don't really like the two-party system at all. I think it's a rigged game, and it's rigged against myself and other citizens such as yourself. But, one thing at a time. And if the Democrats are going to eat themselves in this frenzy of craziness, well, though I guess the one thing I can say that the Democrats did, I hate to say this, but somebody working for the Hillary Clinton campaign put the headline, U.S. infections reach 100,000, and she puts the punchline, well, Trump did say America first. And I'm, personally, that's in extremely bad taste. I mean, I can't say that I haven't made jokes about the coronavirus sneezing in office buildings that seem really, really like everybody's wearing a mask and they're all like, whoa, they got hand sanitizer every 4 feet. But I don't think publicly you should do it. Politically, I don't think you should do it. And there's a big difference between just sort of making fun of it and making fun of people who are infected. Because some of those people are going to die. Not as many as we thought. And, I do give, before I leave, I do give her staff kudos for that one, because that honestly was a very well-crafted joke. It really was. The thing that's I think's funny about it is I don't believe in any way that that's true. So it's, that he has anything to do with it. In fact, I give President Trump much props, because right or wrong, he has tried to remain positive. And he tried to be, he's trying to be like America the old, where our boys, and I'm not just saying only Americans here, but our boys stormed into beaches like Normandy. Machine gun fire, blasting down, killing everybody in front of him, and they plowed ahead. And he showed some of that spirit. That's the American spirit. But you know what? That portion of America is being removed. The liberals don't want that attitude. They want people who would run and hide and be cowards. And ironically, hide behind masks as they beat up people and say that they're anti-fascist when they act in a fascist way. That's who they want to be. They want to be waving bat arms and just making fools of themselves. But whatever. So anyhow, moving on to the conspiracy corner here. I love deconstructing conspiracies. It's really fun. And for me, step one is always trying to figure out if somebody would actually benefit from said conspiracy. And in this case, you get the feeling that it is the Democrats who, this is all really tight, just in case, so you know. It is the Democrats who benefit. I mean, they needed to do 3 things to win the next election, which seems very important to them. Number one, they needed to have somebody to back. They needed to have that candidate that really sparked hope, spoke to all of the people, related to all of the people, something that could be the face of the party, and really put a stamp on who this party was. And they had their choices. I mean, they had Mayor Pete, very progressive, young, They had women. I mean, they had just as many women as men, if my math is right, which is probably wrong. But I'm talking about the upper echelon. I think at best it was 50-50 in the top 8. I don't know. I just, all of that stuff to me was just silly, because I figured they were going to cheat at the end and nominate who they wanted anyhow. But so number one, they needed that candidate. Number two, they couldn't beat Trump with the economy running well. And on top of that, they couldn't beat Trump with America feeling good about itself. So I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that they perpetrated the disease, but their cronies in the media saw that coming over from China. They saw what was happening over there, and they said, ooh, we've got an idea. So they reached in their playbook on how to, A, manipulate our minds, and B, best of all, get eyes on the screen. Lock people in. I mean, this is brilliant for them, because they've got people locked in their little cells now, and they just keep blasting them information. Usually it should be going like this, blasting in diagonally with all those slants and all of those things that they reach in their playbook and they get out. Step one, what you got to do is you got to start with the misinformation about the severity and the spread. You got to find where it's gone, and you got to find isolated little pockets that can be exploited, and to make the numbers look worse than they are, or whatever it is. But the first thing you got to do is you got to set the story up, even if correct or not correct. You have to set the story the way you want it. That's step one. What are you going to do about what is the ultimate plan with this? And you got to put that in stone right away. Step two, they got to create hysteria. They find one grocery store that has a run on toilet paper, they just blast it. They find it two, and they start using those words like surges and hoarding and looting and whatever buzzwords they can to really get you into it. Like every little story, like they kind of do with the gun issue in America. You know, they pick and choose a certain slant to come in on, and then they bombard you with every little minuscule. And if they have to tweak stories a little bit, you know, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, if you find a store who was missed on a delivery route and they're out of toilet paper, well, they're out of toilet paper, you can just link it to the coronavirus. Then you have to overproject every number. That's their big thing. You got to find the wackiest scientists out there, the ones who have the most extreme views on it, the people who are already a little bit panicked about this thing. And you want them to talk about specific numbers that only drive fear. You don't want recovery rates and stuff like that. But you got it. 3 deaths needs to be projected to 4,000 deaths. I mean, you have to. You have to. And you have to start talking about how long this will last. You have to continue that. And just continue that. Because if people think it's going to end tomorrow, they might tune off. They might go, well, enough of that. And they might tune out. You know? So you have to overproject that length. You have to, apparently. Because it's working for them. I mean, they've got the country in a mad-ass panic. California shut down. That's a whole nother thing. Then, what we've learned is what you do is, if it's an old person who died, old people dying doesn't really scare anybody. So mention that they died, but don't mention their age. Don't mention any pre-existing conditions. They died. That's fine. Now, if you find people who are younger that scare people, like somebody in their 30s or somebody in their teens, well, you got to harp on that. That needs to be played through the hill. You need to use that person's death to get, you know, as clickbait. That's what you have to do, apparently, because it seems to be working for them. You know, because that's all I see on Yahoo right now, a teen case. General, it was Trump's fault. It's reminding us that this person who was young died. You know, if somebody downplays the threat, you got to make them look ignorant. You got to say they're insensitive, they're trying to get people killed, they're trying to profit off of it, blah, 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 blah. You have to discredit them. And most importantly, no matter what you have to do, you have to keep the stories coming. They have to overwhelm everything. Look at this perfect storm we've created. Everything's shut down. There's nothing else to talk about. So all the news agencies have to do is keep running these same stories, the same playbook over and over and over again. And if it starts to die off, find somewhere else. Just like they're doing now. They're hyping New York's numbers. I mean, you realize they're using people's deaths as clickbait. That's what they're doing. I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. And I don't think a lot of people will let that fly. But that was the week that was. I'm still here. Not coughing. I'm going to get a t-shirt that says, "Don't worry, I'm a smoker." Be good to yourselves.